guys, so today I wanted to talk about, well, a lot of things, but I get asked a lot of questions about being ill and how I deal with it and I just get asked a lot of questions, okay? And I always want to make a video, but it's just too much. So I'm just going to take one thing and try to answer it. And what is on my brain right now is the topic of the frequently asked question of how do you deal with pain. And I'm only going to just take one little aspect of it because that could be like a year-long series of how I deal with pain. But I get asked a lot, like, how do you deal with just being in pain every single day? Because some people with fibro get breaks from their pain. I have low pain days and I have high pain days. So I never have no pain day. So I think that this is something that I try my best to deal with, and I have gotten comments, like my best friend Lindsay was saying something, I forget exactly what she was saying, but she said something like, I never feel like you complain, or sometimes I don't even know that you're in pain. And like, she doesn't say it in a way like, well, you don't look like you're in pain like those people. She meant more like, well, I'm putting words in her mouth, but I'm pretty sure this is what she meant, that she can't tell I'm in pain because I'm not, because I'm positive and happy or energetic and all those things. And generally when people are in pain, they're not those things. So the reason that is the case most of the time is because I try my very best. I am very conscious. Wow, that's fibrofog there, people, for you. So I'm going to keep that in there so people can see it. Anyways, so I'm very conscious of my headspace. And it took me quite a long time to figure that out, that I really need to pay attention to where my head's at. And I think that a lot of people, of you guys, are finding this even with just doing like those pain diaries and like just the daily vlogging or daily check-ins, and a lot of people with journaling. You don't necessarily, like, sometimes you're like, you don't realize that you're heading down this path of just getting really negative or depressed or anything like that. But I just try to be very active in my mental state. And one of the sayings that I used to love way back when, mind you, my dad was a professor, so it's very academic. So I heard this stuff all through my childhood, but even from a kid, this was like I always thought it was so interesting. But it was a saying, nothing is good nor bad, but thinking that makes it so. And obviously there are days when literally your body is just like, nope, this is where your mental state's going to be, because your personality shuts off at some point. Like, that, it's kind of like low level on your meter, your body's meter. But on most days, I feel like you can try to be conscious, to be positive or happy about something. And you guys know that I struggle with depression and anxiety, so I'm no way saying like you can just get rid of your anxiety, just cure yourself. I'm just saying, like, some days, say that I'm stuck in bed, I could sit there and just think about all the things that other people are doing. I could do that. Now, if I've done a rant on this, this is like one of my biggest pet peeves, and I don't like when you guys do this, or anybody in chronic pain. You play the, well, there's someone worse off than you, and it's like, well, yeah, there's someone worse off for everyone. It's called dead. So, like, don't do that with yourself. You can only deal with your experiences, because you might say, oh, that I'd be so, like, there's people that so and so and so and so are married and have kids. Well, they might be in an unhappy marriage and their kids might have disabilities or something. You don't know what's going on in people's private lives. So just worry about your own life and making that happy. Never play that. I call it the blame game, but because it's kind of blaming yourself. Like, you should be doing this, you could be doing this, when really, this is your life. Let's think about positive things. So, like, say I'm stuck in bed I kind of am like, okay, well, I can watch TV. Like, I like TV shows. Like, a lot of people don't really like to sit and watch TV. I always have, even before I was sick. I liked watching shows and movies. Like, always loved movies. So if I'm stuck in bed, I'll watch a movie or watch a show or something and just be happy doing that. Like, not like, oh my gosh, look at my life. I'm stuck in bed watching movies while everybody else is living life. I'm just kind of like, I like doing this, and even if I was feeling well, I might be still doing this, just watching a movie for fun. So instead of like thinking about others and like comparing yourself to them, just compare yourself to yourself and what makes you happy. The other thing is, a lot of people with chronic pain, I know this is due to isolation a lot of times, but sometimes it's kind of pushing other people away. And I've found this through just having amazing friends and amazing family, but also I'm very conscious about how I treat people. I always try to be kind to people. I watch what I say and the tone that I'm using, because it is so easy to snap at people, to go off the handle, to take out on what I'm going through and what I'm feeling on other people. All of those things are very easy to do. So I'm very, very aware of how I'm saying things, especially how I'm saying things, because you can say, hey, could you hand me that dish? Or you could say, hey, can you hand me the dish? I mean, like, it's like not even, it doesn't even matter what words are coming out of your mouth, it's your tone. So I try to be as positive I can about situations. I try to be as kind to other people as I can, because, I mean, if you're someone that doesn't have chronic pain and you sleep for 4 hours one night, you're cranky the next day. I mean, it's just what happens. But when you're chronically like that, you can't be cranky every single day, you know? But, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about is the other side, which is let yourself be cranky. If you are in a headspace and you're like, no, I'm just really cranky today, I just can't handle it, and this person is getting on my nerves, something like that, let yourself be. You don't have to, just because you're chronically ill and you are cranky does not mean that someone should look at you and say like, oh, well, they're just a horrible person every single day because they're in pain. No, you're also a human being. So let yourself cry, let yourself be angry, let yourself be sad. Do all of those emotions, because if you bottle them inside, it's going to be 10 times worse. So, yeah, let them out, and don't play the blame game with that. Like, oh, well, I should go apologize to that person because I probably was at fault because whatever. I mean, I always think you should kind of apologize if you think that would make things better. But if you really think like someone was being a jerk to you and you were like, hey, knock it off, then, you know, maybe they need to cool their jets. Not you. Just because you have pain doesn't mean you can't still express yourself, still be crabby, still be angry or sad, and all of those emotions. I think that's why we isolate so much, is because we try not to be any of those things, and it's impossible. Newsflash, it's impossible. So we isolate because we're like, well, we can't do it. We can't be a perfect person. When really you just need to get out there, and yeah, you might lose some people and have friends come and go in your life, but I have 3 amazing best friends, and that all the other ones were worth it. All the other friendships that came and went, and the stress and the guilt and all that stuff, was worth it to have the friends that I do now that support me and love me and I can be crabby with. They've seen my crabby side. I'm not perfect and happy and a cheerleader all the time. They've seen my crabbiness, and they are just like, well, Emily's crabby today. Not, oh, Emily has fibro, she's just a jerk all the time. No, they know that it's just, I'm having a crabby day. So yeah, so those are just some of the things. I could talk on and on and on about this, but I see a lot of you guys, and I see this, it's really weird because none of my healthy friends ever apologize for crying, and the people that I do see apologize for